The Chicago Bears versus the Minnesota Vikings. You have two teams that are trending in completely opposite direction. The Bears are winners of 6 out of their last 7, while the Vikings have lost 3 out of their last 4 games. Now, in week 1, the Vikings won this game with JJ McCarthy's fourth quarter heroics. He was horrific for the first 3 quarters. And in the final 15 minutes, he just got the spirit of Tom Brady in him, and he led them to a comeback win. And JJ McCarthy is a roller coaster ride. You know, throughout the course of the game, there's a lot of highs and lows with JJ McCarthy. He either starts out great and finishes really bad, or he starts out bad and finishes really strong. You don't really know what you're going to get out of JJ McCarthy. Now, the talent is there for JJ McCarthy to have a good game. The Chicago Bears defense, although they do have a well-respected defensive coordinator and Dennis Allen, statistically, their defense isn't really all that great. So JJ McCarthy, with him having Jay Jettas, Jordan Addison, you know, the offensive line is starting to get a little bit healthy. I could see him having a pretty good performance. And even if JJ McCarthy struggles, Brian Flores' defense will be able to bail him out when he makes mistakes or he comes out a little bit shaky, because Caleb Williams' playing style doesn't really translate to success against Brian Flores' defense. And even last week, although the Minnesota Vikings lost that game against Baltimore pretty handily, Brian Flores' defense was keeping them in that game. And if it wasn't for JJ McCarthy's turnovers, gifting the Ravens extra possessions and favorable field position, you know, that could have been a much different outcome. Because although the Baltimore Ravens do have Lamar, and he's the greatest quarterback of all time, in my opinion, Brian Flores does give him a lot of issues. And Caleb Williams is more so of that Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray kind of quarterback, where he plays a lot of backyard football. A lot of his big plays come outside the pocket. When you're going up against Brian Flores' defense, if you don't make fast decisions, if you're holding on to the ball, trying to extend plays, mistakes are going to happen. And I expect for Minnesota to come away with a few turnovers, which helps out JJ McCarthy in that offense, put up points. Can you win the fourth quarter? Because the Bears are as good as anybody when you get into the fourth. And that's when they start to play their best football. They had 2 comebacks last week against the Giants and against the Cincinnati Bengals. And if JJ McCarthy isn't rolling early and he goes into that fourth quarter playing like how he did against Baltimore, the Bears will win this game. What will decide the outcome of this matchup comes down to Minnesota's ability to slow down the run game of the Bears. Now, we already know about DeAndre Swift, but Monangai, the rookie running back that they got from Rutgers, he's been really good also. And everybody talks about Caleb Williams, but they never talk about the Bears and how dominant they've been running the football. They are averaging 147 rushing yards per game, which is the second best in the NFL, and they're third in yards per carry. And the Minnesota Vikings run defense isn't bad. It's around the middle of the pack. If they can force the Bears to have to rely on Caleb Williams to throw the ball 35, 40 times, then you play right into the strength of Brian Flores, because then he can start sending a bunch of those all-out blitzes, cover zero looks. And I don't think Caleb Williams' playing style is really going to translate to him having a lot of success against this aggressive style defense. But I'm going to take the Chicago Bears to win this game 27-17, because I believe that the turnover battle is going to be one that Chicago comes out on top. JJ McCarthy, we know that he's prone to mistakes. The Bears have the best turnover margin in the NFL. Caleb Williams, he could struggle in this game. I expect him to struggle, but one thing that Caleb Williams does well is he doesn't put the ball in harm's way. He doesn't turn it over a lot. The Bears are number 1 in takeaways, and they're 4th in giveaways. And when you got a young quarterback going through the ups and downs, trying to get acclimated to the speed of the NFL and JJ McCarthy, you're going to come up on the losing end of that turnover battle more times than not. So I'm taking the Bears to win outright 27-17, and I'm taking them to cover plus 3.5.